Howdy, folks. Okay, we'll give this a go, will we? So, I'm a director at Sigmar Recruitment, and I'm here to talk about this. We'll give it a go. Bear with me. Hope you like words on your PowerPoint presentations, because I got a lot of them, and I've got 47 slides, so I know you're going to be delighted with this. This is what I'm here to talk about. I'm talking about the rise of the experience value proposition. With a world of opportunity now literally at our fingertips, of all employees, commitment and loyalty to employers has receded. Work is now deeply individualized and social capital has weakened. So to attract the best, we need to reflect this and move from EVP to experience value proposition, which also kind of looks like EVP to me as well. Should be fun, shouldn't it? Do you know what I think of when I read that statement? Well, I would think of one person. Would anyone like to guess? It's very easy. I heard something, but we'll go. It's Harrison Ford, right? So Harrison Ford was known to remark on the set of Star Wars. He said to George Lucas, when he was reading a dialogue, he was like, "George, you can type that shit, but you sure as hell can't say it." So, speaking of George Lucas, do you know he went out with Linda Ronstadt? Did you know that? It's a true story, right? That's Linda Ronstadt. Can we all agree that he was probably punching above his weight there, wasn't he? Yeah, which brings us nicely to me, right? So, that wasn't a joke. I was talking about us. This is all our problem. Because when I hear Linda Ronstadt, she had a top 5 song called It's So Easy. It was a cover version of the Crickets, and I didn't have much success with it, but she got into the top 5. And that's what I hear these days when I'm in recruitment. It's like, your job is so easy. It must be so easy to be in recruitment, HR and talent. That's right, isn't it? Everybody says that. Everybody says that. You know why they're saying that? I can see the logic. Because there's so many candidates out there. Right? There's candidates out there. There's loads of them out there. They're all over the place. Cassidy said it earlier on. There's more people looking for jobs than ever. Now, who's here? Who here is in HR? Put up your hand, please. HR and HR directors. Okay, because you guys don't know this, but I'll explain it for the rest of you in case you're not. Right? We now have the technology to find the people really, really easily. Right? So we can use stuff like, and I saw Mark Valentine out there, called LinkedIn Recruiter, which will tell me not only how to find the person, but it'll also tell me if they're actually looking for work. It's genius, right? It makes my job really, really, really simple. And I'll show you how simple it is, because this is the search I did earlier for HR individuals in Ireland right now open to new opportunities. Would you like to see? Yeah, there's 369 of you guys out there looking for work. Everybody take a quick look to left or right. See, does anybody look a little bit nervous? Because we're going to show the results now, yeah? Will we look at the results? We won't do that. We won't do that, right? But we've been in markets before where loads and loads of people were looking for work. They're usually recessions, but this is a really weird one, because even though there's loads of people looking for work, there's even more people out there, more companies out there looking for work. There's so many jobs. So, where is everybody? Right? That's what this man said. Anybody know who this man is? Maybe Bob from NASA. That's Enrico Fermi, and he's known as for coming up with the Fermi paradox. And the Fermi paradox says, he was sitting around with all of his physicist buddies, and they were talking about the chances of extraterrestrial life being out there. And they went, well, hold on a second, right? We've got our sun, right, which is a star, and there's planets going around it, and there's life on our planet. There's loads and loads of stars in the galaxy. There's hundreds of millions of stars in our galaxy, the Milky Way, and there's hundreds of billions of galaxies. So where is everybody? And that's what I'm feeling like sometimes in recruitment, because where are all our placements? Where are all our hires? Who feels that their job is really easy right now? Put up your hand. Who feels it's actually worse than ever? Yeah, it is. It's very, very hard to do what we do. But why? Right? Why is it so hard? Right? Now, we all know that finding people is the easy part, isn't it? But it's how we engage with people. That's the key. How do we get them talking to us? Now, traditionally, we sold on, and here's this acronym again, EVP, it's Employee Value Proposition. Now, shout out to Shane McCauley, comps man, if he's listening, if he's watching online, this is essentially the compensation, the benefits that you would give to your employees, to attract them. And, this is supposed to be a joke, not a very funny joke, because it's kind of true now, isn't it? Some companies are able to offer things like these. There are pools in organizations. There are gyms, there are nail bars, canteens, restaurants. And this did a really, really good job at attracting employees to some companies. In fact, it did such a good job that you could never leave some of these companies, just like the Hotel California. Right? But we know times are changing, aren't they? They are, because those benefits, they're just not working. They're just not as good. They're just not as effective as they were, right? So we're after providing all you people with all this good stuff. Why do you not want to come to work for us? So we can't just rely on tangible benefits. So I'd like to ask a question. When I get asked about a job, what's the first thing that a candidate asks me? Anyone raise their hand? Shout it out, please. You know what, I actually heard the right one, because it's actually salary. If you work for nothing, you never be idle. That's what my granddad used to say, right? So you can't forget about tangible benefits. But the second most important thing is there flexible working there, right? Now, when you see a picture like this, you can understand why, yeah? That's not a stock photo. That's a photo that my colleague, Jamie Harnett, who works for, in marketing, he's an associate director, he's in marketing in Sigmar. You can spot him by his outlandish tan and his probably white shirt that he's wearing today. He used to send me these pictures every Monday. He said to cheer me up. But, you know, I don't really think that that's what he was trying to do. By the way, if you can talk about finding people, find Jamie, I'll buy you a pint later. Now, when work looks like this, and this is where he used to work in Barbados. I think he's back from Mexico. He'll be somewhere else. Where in the world, Jamie? You know, if this was the way we could all work, of course we could then we could just look at flexible benefits. But do you think that's our answer? No, because that's what bloody remote working looks like for me. Right? So, and this is the problem that we have, right? Not everybody can work from home. Not everybody is set up to work from home. Not everybody, you know, dogs are running around, kids are annoying you and stuff like that. Or you work in a job where you simply cannot help be there. In the service industry, you have to be there. Nothing's going to happen. And the other problem then that we have is that when we do work from home, we lose out on some of this. The social capital, right? The crack, right? So we lose that camaraderie, the esprit de corps, and it's harder to get people working together, and that's what keeps people in jobs. That's what keeps people where they are. So we need to change the way we're thinking. We need to get our heads together, right? And what we need to think about is EVP. It's the experience value proposition. Forget the acronyms, guys. Believe me, what this is what it's actually really like to work in your company, right? So it's what it's like to actually work there, what it's like to work with the people there, what the job is actually like, really, what it's really actually like, not what it says on the tin. And we need to move away from this sort of mentality, why we should hire you, right? We need to move away from this thinking, and we need to think really strongly about what I love about my job. What is it genuinely about your company that you like and that keeps you going there, right? Now, this is a very difficult thing to do because you can't just make it up, right? And this is what a lot of companies do. They say, we're a great company because we do all of this and we have all these highfalutin ideas. And when you do that and don't back it up, this next slide is what happens, right? Now, this is an unknown fairy company, right? But this is their actual page. And it says here, our mission is to build the best possible business for our customers, our people, and out communities, their typo, not mine, through working in an ever more responsible and sustainable way, right? Sounds good. Sounds like a company we might want to work for. They also say that they want to inspire our people to continue to develop outstanding teams who are determined to exceed customer expectations. Now, that is known as talking the talk. What's not known as walking the walk is firing all your employees by pre-recorded Zoom messages, which is what these guys did, right? So you have to have an authentic message. You can't turn up to the dealership and come back with the Wagon Queen family truckster, right? It has to be authentic, right? I worked with a company, and they said to me, we want to hire the best salespeople, and what's different about us is cold calling is dead. Don't need to cold call with our setup. And that's what you need to tell all these candidates. And that's why they're going to come to work for us. We got them people. And guess what they asked about at interview? Cold calling, right? And guess what they kept asking about at interview? Cold calling, right? So they weren't being honest with themselves, right? You got to be honest. Because candidates aren't fools, right? They are not fools, right? Think about this, right? You probably didn't. You may have, I don't know. Do we have reviews for Talent Summit? Do we have reviews, right? Maybe if you got the ticket, you read the review. You know, maybe not. Look, I'm not going to him. He's terrible. But if you look about all the research that you put into, say, a simple decision like going to a restaurant, right? You might go into TripAdvisor, you might go into Google Reviews. So do you think that candidates are not going to look at the reviews for your company? Of course they are, and they have the ability to do it. They can do it remotely. They can do it on Glassdoor, Google Reviews, Indeed, YouTube. They can ask people. So you better know what you're talking about, and you better be able to really offer something very, very good to candidates. Because here's this acronym again. It's EVP. Everyone's very picky these days, right? So how do you do it? Right? This isn't simple, but it kind of is, right? How do we do it? First thing you do is you ask your people. You ask your people. Now, you can do this the old-fashioned way, which is asking them directly, but you might get a response like, do you like working here? It's like, yeah, I love it. So you maybe have to use technology like Qualtrics or Medallia or SurveyMonkey. We use a company called Worky. It's really, really good. You get anonymous answers and stuff that you can improve on. And you have to improve on your work situation. This is what people are turning up for every day. Because you can't afford to have people like these in your workplace. You can't, right? Now, one of my good friends called me. Now, I've heard this, and if you're in HR and recruitment, you've heard this yourself. It's like, oh, blah, 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 giving out. This person is excellent at her job. Excellent at her job. And she approached me and she said, Rossa, can you do me a favor? Can you help me get a new job? And I said, of course I can. But I said, before we start, like, what's wrong with the job that you have? What do you not like about it so I can get you a better job? And she said, nothing. I love my job, but I hate my boss. I hate my boss. I'm really experienced and I keep being micromanaged. And a company like that with individuals in it is not only going to have a problem attracting staff, they're also going to have a problem retaining staff because people don't have to put up with it these days. I had another call from a person, really, really good operator again, really, really good individual, and she said, listen, and she'd done brilliantly in the job the job before that she has right now. And she said, I'm only 3 months in the job and it's toxic and I know it's not for me, but do you think I need to stay there because of longevity or anything like that? And I said, absolutely not. Your track record is clean, you are sound, you can move, and she'll be gone. Previously, we were stuck in jobs we didn't like because we didn't have the opportunity. Now we have every opportunity out there, and your staff are going to have every opportunity out there, and the candidates that you are trying to attract have every opportunity out there. And you need to get it right, because otherwise this is what happens. The blame game. You can't hire me good people, they say to HR and talent, and we're going, you keep messing it up because everybody hates you, or you don't turn up for interviews, you know? So this is the blame game. So I hope you enjoy my presentation, and it's been very positive so far, hasn't it, right? So, yeah. Well, here's a little bit of positive news, right? We can't do this alone, because this is not a HR problem, it's not a hiring manager's problem, it's everybody's problem. Everybody in the organization has to work at this. Everybody has to ask, what is right and what is wrong about where we work? And these are honest conversations, and they're very difficult questions that you have to ask, and you might not like the answers. In fact, I know you're not going to like some of the answers, because nobody here works in a perfect company. Nobody has it nailed. But if you do work in it, and you do work on why this is a great place to work, not why it's great pay, or not why it's great benefits, or not why the software is the best, or the technology is the best, or the product is the best, but why everybody really likes to work there, then you use that to attract candidates. That is your message. You use it to attract candidates and keep your candidates. Right? Now, what we do is when we talk to people at Sigmar, the first thing I do is say, what's the message? And usually I get back the the ferry company message, you know. It's bullshit. It's what everybody else is saying. Then when I ask the people, what do you like about your job? What do you actually like about it? Then we start to get to the message. We work with companies to get that message. And then we send out video messages. And we use interview. Great. I'm sure there's other stuff that you can use. But we approach candidates with that message. And then that message is repeated every single step of the way in the recruitment process. Everybody, from the very first person in talent, through the hiring manager interviews, to CFOs, to VPs, if they're signing off, they are saying the same thing. And the candidate knows that it's coming from the heart, and they know it's genuine. Right? And when that happens, it attracts attention. Right? And you cannot do but impress the people you're looking for. That is it. That is me. That is 47 slides. And thank you very much.